Broadcasting from the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the Untold Truths with Master Eric.
Hello everyone, Sitaram, Assalamu Alaikum, Sairam, and good evening.
Nice to have you with us on this wonderful Friday.
And you know what? I want to say thank you for the support you're giving us. The last week's program, we busted all the other programs' records within one day. That means that you're all starting to listen. You're either you might be liking what you hear, or maybe it's information that you've wanted to hear and nobody talked about. Well, that's why we're here. And we just want to say thank you. I mean, we couldn't be here without you. And Zalisa, you know, I still got a lot of questions from last week's program. And I love that. Keep bringing your questions. And then also, there was an individual that wrote 3 programs ago and said, would we do a show on the Egyptian gods and also what is the shadow? So I'm working on that because I want to give a very detailed program. Yeah. I want to make sure it's factual. And if you guys want to know on any program, where did we reference it? Just ask, and I'll be glad to send you the reference where you could look it up.
Ask and you shall receive. Part of the show is allowing you to interact. Interact meaning, please send your questions, your concerns. I hope you have your pen. I hope you have your paper, because these are the numbers that you would need to send your messages to via 354-4459. And of course, if you live outside of Trinidad and Tobago in international waters, then of course it's 1868. But locally, it's 354-4459, or you can send me a message at 384-7142. 384-7142. I've got my coconut water, fresh coconut water, and Master Eric, he has his coffee. We are ready to roll. Today, we're going to be talking to you about spiritual gifts.
And you know, I did mention this morning, but I know the person, I don't know if they watch in the morning, but I did notice on the analytics of YouTube, we have a viewer from Taiwan.
Welcome.
So I just want to say hello. I don't know Taiwanese, but you could give me a little sign and send me a note. How do you say good evening there, unless it's English, okay? But we love it. We love it that people are starting to lock in. So yeah, Zalisa, the reason I picked this topic today, and I discussed it with you this morning, is that there is a lot of people who has gifts, and they don't even know they have gifts. And soon, in a month, I'm going to have a class, not to the public, but if you think you have a gift or you are gifted and you don't have someone to teach you or get you to understand what's happening with your body, what is happening when these gifts try to materialize. And, you know, we're going to go over that tonight, but give me a call, WhatsApp me, because this class is only for gifted people. And I want to help you uplift it. But words of the wise, when you do get the help and you do uplift it, don't abuse it.
That's important.
Now, God gave you a gift, but let me tell you something. I've seen people. He'll take it away faster than he gave it to you when you abuse it.
So, Master Eric, for the benefit of our viewers who probably are very confused, you're talking about a gift. Can you give us a definition or let us know, explain to us exactly what is a spiritual gift? What is considered a spiritual gift?
A spiritual gift is an ability that you're able to do that normal people cannot do.
Okay.
So let me give you some examples. Some people, they have foresight.
Right.
Now, foresight, it usually starts in dreams. Now, in your dream, you're going to visualize, it's going to be a message. You're going to see something happen. You're going to see the people. You're going to see what took place at the event. And then you stop dreaming. Now, in a day or two, it actually happens.
Oh.
You're going to see it before, right?
So is it like a prediction kind of thing?
Not a prediction.
It's not a prediction.
This
so
is
it's like
actual.
foresight into what is going to happen?
Let me explain. And if viewers, try to stay with me, I'll try to explain it as simple as I can.
Sure.
Not saying that you're not smart, but when you don't have the knowledge and then somebody just starts to speak, I might lose you a little bit. So what happens, Elisa, is that you have what they call the divine knowledge in the universe.
All right.
Or some people call it the Akashic records.
Right.
Which is the Middle East and all the ancient religions. And that is the information database of the whole world.
Okay.
And from the beginning of time till the end of time.
Okay.
Now, people with gifts, once they can mature the gift, they can tap into that. Now the information, God gives certain people the foresight gift.
Right.
Now, God knows you're in this region. This is how God's brilliant. I mean, I've said it numerous times on your program. So, he plants you here. You're born in Trinidad and Tobago. Some people's born in U.S. and India and everywhere else. Now, when somebody that needs to get a message, it will go to this person. And now that person, 9 times out of 10, might know the individual. That's how God works. And then that individual needs to relay that message. Now, when I help people with spiritual gifts, I tell them, you think it's neat. It's something different and you could get addicted to it. But on the other hand, sometimes it's not a nice job, Zelisa, because you just don't deliver good news. Sometimes you have to deliver bad news.
Now you are talking from experience.
Correct.
Experience, the greatest teacher. You,
Correct.
You've had a gift for 30 years plus.
Right.
You've been able to take that, nurture it, use it to help.
Correct. And that's what everybody's supposed to do.
But there are people with certain spiritual gifts that use it and take advantage of it to do wrong, rather, and also destroy.
Correct.
Might be harsh, but it's the truth.
And we're going to get into that probably in the last half of the program.
Okay.
Because I'm going to explain what happens when you start abusing the gift. Okay? Then, you have some people, and they didn't know, they grew up, but there is one common factor, people, that everybody has as they're growing up. You don't know you have the gift. You actually don't know when you're real young, unless it starts to manifest when you're very young. And the one common goal is the factor. You feel different. You feel like, I would say 9 out of 10 people that comes to see me every month, they always said they felt they were nothing like their siblings. And they felt like maybe they were adopted. Because that interconnect that a normal child has with their family, it didn't seem right.
So they didn't feel like they belong or part of a family unit?
Right, they felt different.
Felt apart?
Like, you know how some people say, well, they're the black sheep of the family. And black sheep doesn't mean that you're bad. You're just
Correct.
different than the rest.
Yeah.
And then as they grew up, it starts to mature. Now there are some people that actually is born, and I know you've heard the old people talk about it, with a veil.
Yes.
All right.
Talk to us about that.
Well-
and I'm sure a lot of including myself, would like to get a proper understanding, because you hear time after time, somebody born with a veil, they're gifted, and they could jari and they could do other things. They've got
No,
a special
veil
ability.
doesn't jari.
No, but the person who was born with the veil, apparently they've got a gift. So that this is what I've heard growing up. So this is why it's important. You see, we talk about it so that we understand.
Right.
And knowledge is power. So you share that knowledge with us.
Okay, a veil. The easiest way to describe it, people, is, do you know when you go into a 3D movie or a 4D movie and you have to wear the glasses to actually see it properly?
Yeah.
Right? A veil is to wear the same effect. You can't see the veil. You're not wearing glasses. But with that veil, you're able to see things that other people cannot see. And normally, it's the undead, ancient ancestors,
The
spirits.
undead?
No, dead, sorry. Spirits that are walking around. They can see them clear as days, Elisa. Just like I'm seeing you now.
I've heard that.
Now, when they're young, some of them come to me, and you know one of them. And he said, when he was riding the bus, in the empty seat, there's a dead person riding in the bus. Now, as a child, he was scared. And he didn't know how to process this. And everywhere he would look, he would see once in a while
Yeah.
a dead person walking,
Yeah.
right? And he never had nobody to explain. He tried talking to his parents. And the parents are like, nah, you're just daydreaming, you're exaggerating, or maybe I should take you to a psychiatrist.
Some people may think they're not right in
Right.
their head. You're correct. You're crazy or what? What you talking about?
So when he did meet me after some years,
Yeah.
he came and I helped him through it.
Thank you.
That's why I want to have this class, because you need a guru. You need someone who has the knowledge, and even better yet, somebody that's went through it themselves. And that way you have the knowledge to understand every little aspect of when you are raising up that manifestation within you, that gift. Okay? So they have the veil. Some people, they call it talking in tongues.
Please give
So-
us a definition of that, because that's quite confusing as well.
Well,
It is.
talking in tongues is where the Holy Spirit comes through the individual and starts to speak. But when it speaks, because the person isn't centered, the person isn't trained how to filter when the energy comes into their body, so it's talking a language that normally people do not know.
Master Rick, allow me now. So, how do we then determine this is the Holy Spirit, or perhaps it's another spirit that's wandering? I'm just saying, if the possibility
Or it
exists.
could be a negative.
Exactly, that would get now the opportunity to get into someone to say whatever they need to say, or
It can
whatever
be.
reason.
Do you know
so
why?
how do we determine? Well, not we.
You have to be trained. And this is where I want to take these people
Please.
and start training them. Because we have lost people, not by death. We have lost people in the past before they came to us, to where they drifted and they thought the Holy Spirit was coming in, but they ended up possessed.
You see, that's
Okay?
that's
This is where the
sensitive.
training comes
Yes.
in. That when it comes in, you filter that split second before that energy enters your body. Now, you've seen me do it before. You'll see me and I meditate before I do. Well, I'm channeling. I am channeling what energy I want to come into the body. And I've locked out any negativity. Okay? But a normal person that doesn't know,
Well, you've mastered the art clearly.
well, I don't know mastered, but I try
Well,
my
if
best.
you can master it, in my mind, I'm thinking now, if you could determine or you could block off or you could channel the right energy, then you've mastered it. You understand, you can control it.
Now-
and that is what sets you apart from people who do not have the knowledge. And here you are reaching out to the world. Let me help you.
Yeah.
Let me help you develop.
And the reason I want to help you people, why do you think God gave you the gift in the first place? There's a reason. And it's not up to us to question the reason. Our job is to ensure that you're able to use the gift properly that God gave you. Most religious leaders, they want to keep you down. They don't want you to be up by them. They feel threatened. So then a lot of times when people speak in tongues, I've heard it firsthand. The minister will say, "Oh, must be the devil," because they can't understand. Now here's the next thing. Angels and deities and avatars. So I pretty well covered everybody out there. Do you know they have their own language? They don't speak English amongst themselves. They speak their language. It is not no ancient language here on earth. So this is where we can say who is real and who is not real. And I had the privilege, and the reason I can speak it is not by man. When I meditated over many years,
Yeah.
they taught me the language. This is why I think next week on your show, I want people to really understand what meditation is and
The
what
power.
and the power of it. Now, that's tongues. Now, speaking in tongues is not limited to any belief. I want you to understand that. Because there are times, Elisa, where even the Africans and the Baptists, they come. Now, when a spirit comes with them and comes on them,
Yeah.
let me tell you something. It could be Chinese.
Yeah.
It could be African. It could be any language.
Yeah.
So what I showed people was when that came on the person, especially in my room in the office, I just started carrying on a conversation with it.
Yeah.
Why? I'm using the deity and angels language. So now it automatically knows what I'm saying and it is conversing back.
I've had that experience. I saw that.
Right,
as a
you
matter
saw
of
it when
and
I
was
did
like,
that.
And I was like, what is going on here? I was
And-
in awe, actually.
And then you also witnessed, which I would say 99.9% of the people have not witnessed, is you heard me answer
Oh, yeah, there was a
the question.
conversation. There
No,
was a, yeah.
hold on. But she wasn't speaking.
Oh, that was when it was you, yeah.
We were talking, she was talking to me telepathy into my mind, and I'm answering back out so you could hear. You do not have to speak with a real deity or an angel. I want you to understand that. If you are who and you are where they want you to be at whatever level in your life, they will give you that. And you're able to converse. All right? So again, they can speak any language.
Yeah.
But once you speak that universal language, they're happy. You know why? When someone speaks in tongues, it's a message for someone in that room. So if they speak in tongues in a church, it's for somebody in that church. But the problem is nobody understands.
Communicate, so they can't get the message.
Right.
Oh.
So then that spirit starts to get irritated.
Oh.
Because nobody is
Can
understanding what they're
communicate.
trying to say.
Yeah, and then that's when people would think that this person is possessed.
Correct. Then, when they come into our place and they start to speak, I'm starting to speak, family and everybody's in there. You see, the spirit gets happy. Why? Somebody now can understand what they're trying to say. And then I translate to the people.
Yeah.
Okay? So it's a lot of times, people, it's not demonic. It may seem demonic because they're speaking another language. But when
don't judge, and rather get help.
Don't.
Get help, and you can get help. And I'm going to share this number. If you feel or you know within yourself that you feel different or you feel as if you have a gift, then don't just let it be. Do something about it. Get help. Master Eric is willing to reach out and guide and to help you develop to be the best that you can. And his telephone number 354-4459. Please write it down, call it later on, or send a WhatsApp message. Someone will return the message 354-4459. Now, if you're out there, you're looking at us, wherever you may be in the world, and you would like to ask a question, feel free to do so. This is how we're going to develop, and this is how we can help you. And this is how Master Eric can really guide you, all right, to answer those unanswered questions. So feel free to send your messages to 354-4459 or 384-7142. That's 384-7142. Master Eric?
Now, we've reached out to you. And the reason we are, Zalisa, and I'm going to say it, we've reached out to all spiritual leaders, whether they're Hindu, Muslim, Jewish, any religion, Catholic, Christian, because I don't know why, Zalisa, but they don't line each other together. But they read from the same Bible. That don't make sense. Anyhow, we've asked them to come. I've asked them to come to learn not about their belief. I asked them to come to learn about the energies, about these gifts. So when somebody in their parish or temple or mosque or synagogue comes up with a situation, they would be the first line of defense to help explain to that person what's going on. Number two, do you know why it's important to come and learn? Once you start learning energies, there are millions of frequencies of energies. And you will know with the knowledge and the practice that we'll be doing in this class which ones are negative and which ones are positive by the energies they are projecting towards you. It is critical to know this, people.
May I ask, Master Eric, if you've got people who are aware or they know that they need some sort of help to develop, because they would feel the difference, like you say, they feel not part of, they know something is not right. And they come to you, and because they don't have the control to know if something is good or bad. Unfortunately, they're not responsible for that. However, if you then recognize that it's not a positive energy, that it's a negative energy,
And I tell them,
what would you do?
right there, I raise it. I will reveal what is on them at that time. Let me give you an example. There was this lady that came. She was being terrorized.
Yeah.
She was being terrorized by demons. But there was one. And the woman called him, because she's Christian. No, she was Muslim, sorry. Abraham from the Quran, which is the same Abraham from the Bible.
Right.
And he posed himself as this. He actually acted like Abraham.
So they pretend.
Oh, they can mimic. Negative can mimic a positive. But within that mimic, they cannot mimic their energy. And they know that 99% of spiritual people cannot recognize the different frequencies.
Oh.
So they'll get by. And then they'll mislead people. Right? So she was standing there and she has her hand out like this. While she's in my room. And she said, he guides me. And she was holding his hand. Everywhere he went, she went, he would go. And he would talk to her telepathy into her head. Now, psychiatrists and people like that will call that semi or schizophrenia because they're hearing voices. That's not theirs. Right? So while she was there, I said, why are you holding his hand? Because he guides me. He makes sure I'm safe.
Oh.
And I said, I hate to do this,
Oh no.
but I'm going to unmask him now.
Wow.
And I threw the energy, and I took my hand and pulled down the energy, which revealed and uncloaked him to show her his real form. And right in front of my wife and everybody in the room,
Yeah.
she freaked out. She goes, "That's not him." And she was scared and she almost fell off the couch.
Yeah.
And she says, "You mean I've been holding his hand
Oh no.
all this time?
Yeah.
I've been listening to him?"
Yeah.
And then what I did, I froze him in the corner. So he can't move. You can paralyze him with energy.
Well, if you know how to.
So what I'm trying to say, don't be fooled, people. Don't be fooled. You don't know who you're encountering when you're in front of them if you're not trained. That's why I'm asking people to come, right? Especially religious leaders. I'm not here to debate your belief.
Yeah.
It's to treat you something that probably you was never trained in.
To help you.
Now, there's another type.
Before we go into that, let's perhaps, because we've been asking people to send messages, let's see who this message came from.
Alrighty. So, this one came up. Good evening, Sitaram. And he named his name.
Okay.
Message, oh, okay. And he said, thanks a lot for all your help, Master Eric. This individual actually came today.
Oh.
And we spiritually helped him.
Excellent.
So, thank you. Thank you.
And
But what we're looking at, Zalisa, is there's another type of gift. And in Hinduism, they have what they call the Shakti.
yes.
Okay? Now, the Shakti, I don't care who tells me what. It's the same Holy Spirit channel from the universe going in to a body. The only thing is the channel come as the belief is.
Ah, understood now.
So now a deity will come into the body, which could be Kalbado, Sanganidi Baba, Hanuman. It could be any one of them, Lord Ganesh, anybody. Or Maha Munishpur Prim, anyone. Now, there are different levels of Shaktis. And it's not taught in the temples. There are 2 separate channels of that Holy Spirit to come down to give you its Shakti. But everybody concentrates on one channel. And that's called the Kundalini. Now the Kundalini is the channel from your root chakra, from your pelvic bone, up through your back, through your throat, through the third eye, out to the crown chakra. And the energy, people are mistaken. They think the energy comes from the top of your head down.
Right.
It don't. It starts and comes up from your feet.
Wow.
And it hits you like a lightning bolt. There is no time to say, not now. Like if you're trying to keep them down, if you're in a situation or in the public. But they know when to come. They would know when not to come.
Right.
Right? Now, the next channel. So after this program, people, you're going to start hearing the religious leaders in the Hindu faith starting to talk about this. But they don't know what they're talking about. They're just mimicking what we're talking about. The other channel is called the Narayan Shakti. Now that comes from the abdomen and comes up like lightning. Now the difference between the Kundalini Shakti and the Narayan Shakti, one is sporadic. So you're going to see when the Shakti or that energy comes into a human body, they're going to flip their head around. They might roll on the ground. It depends, right? Now on the Narayan Shakti, which is very few people that have that skill, they come solid. They come 100 times more powerful than a Kundalini Shakti. When that happens, you will remember nothing. You will see nothing. You will hear nothing. That energy, 100% takes over your body.
Oh.
So, when you saw me, wasn't my voice totally different?
I was like, what?
Wasn't the posture, wasn't the attitude,
Oh, no, it was
wasn't
no
the face.
It was no
Everything
way,
changes.
Master. It was no way, Master Eric. No way.
So what I'm trying to say, so if you're standing in front of someone who gets Shakti, they may only get Shakti 40%, not 100.
Oh.
Okay? Then the next thing we look at, what characteristics changed? Did their voice totally go off the charts to where if you took a voice recorder from the FBI, took a sample of your regular voice, and then when this comes on you, they take a sample of the voice, there will be absolutely no match of your voice with that other one. That's when you know it's 100%. Number two, they don't speak English right away, people. They don't. They don't speak Hindi all the time. They don't speak Sanskrit all the time. So if you hear somebody with the same voice, because there was times when I walked up to them, I address them, and I start speaking their language. And all of a sudden, Zalisa, they say, please speak English so everybody can understand what's being said.
Oh.
Right then, you just walk off.
Yeah, okay, understood.
You understand?
Yeah.
You can find a con artist a mile away. They can't hide. Okay? Number two, what frequency of energy is coming from that human body?
Then how do you know if it's a good or bad? That's my thing.
Right.
You have
This
to be
is where
so
the
careful.
training comes in.
Yes.
So And remember, if you go somewhere and you don't know what's going on, they could easily affect you. They could easily
that's
tie
what I'm
you.
thinking. That's what I'm
They
thinking.
could tie you.
Yeah.
Right? The next thing is, if you have a gift, and you're pretty sure you have a gift, and you want to get help or understand what's going on, people, you have to be careful who you go to. You know why? You know how many people that they took the gift from them? Beware. It happens all the time. Okay?
Oh,
now I'm not saying,
understood now. I understand what you're saying.
The
you
high
could think
person-
you go and the person knows that there's a genuine gift there and they steal
And
the
they
gift
take
from
it.
them.
so they can have it.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to really be careful who you select to actually teach you and guide you. Okay? Now, you see where they have what they call the fire pass in a lot of the Hindu sects. Now, fire pass,
That's when they walk on fire, yeah, on the coals.
correct,
Right.
on coals or wood or whatever, right? Now you're supposed to, they get misconception. There's a misconception. It says walking a fire pass, not running across the fire pass. And there are things you have to do before you do the fire pass.
Okay.
You have to fast a lot of days. It varies between temples.
Okay.
Okay, but it's no less than 21. Some go 40, 45. You have to sleep on the ground in the temple. You have to meet certain criteria.
Okay.
But guess what? They're not doing that anymore. They just let you come and walk the fire pass. Now, the next thing, a lot of them will get the power to walk it. Now, what it's meant for is not just that. You're supposed to walk it as a human being and test your faith, test your belief. And you can walk it and not get burnt.
I think there are a lot of people. I'm not judging anyone here. I'm
Right.
just saying based on what you know or what you hear out there, that their lifestyle that they live is quite questionable. And these are the same people who say they've got a gift or who say that they can help you. These are the people who go out there hurting and harming people. You follow what I'm saying? And their lives or the lifestyle that they live is quite questionable. You follow what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So how then do you identify, or how then do you know? You understand?
With training. Training and knowledge gives you complete awareness.
I'm talking about the innocent people that think I need help and I want to go, or I heard this person has
Right.
Shakti, or I
Right.
heard this person could help, or this person has a gift, I heard, and they go, and there are people who go genuinely because they really need help. You follow? They're desperate and they feel this is my last resort and I'm going there to get help. But then these people are, you have to question their
So let me
lifestyle
give
and
you
the
an
choices
example.
that they make.
I'm going to give you an example. These people were having problems. And they were from a certain Shakti temple. I'm not going to name the temple. And they came to me for advice. They said they did the number of weeks devotion that the Shakti said at the temple. They did everything. And nothing worked.
Okay.
Right? So they come to see me and my team. And I looked at them, I laughed, and I said, that's not what you need to do. You need to go. I will take you 5 Fridays in a row. We will go to the ocean. You will make your offering in the ocean. And you will do your howling on the beach.
Okay.
do you know we completed that? And they said, well, let's go see what the Shakti says at the temple. So we go, and they started raising after their devotion. You know, they give their offerings first. And here come Mother Ganga. Now, I love Mother Ganga, people. I mean, I love her to death. But that wasn't Mother Ganga. So the woman that I took to the ocean, which she gave all of her offerings to Mother Ganga. That's who I told her to do it for. Now, Mother Ganga knows that she went to the temple before and did all the offerings. Do you know what Mother Ganga said? The only thing she could think of, you need to come to me in the ocean, Beti, and give me offerings for 9 weeks. And the woman was confused. So I spoke up and I started speaking the language. She says, speak English, my child. I said, it's already completed. Did you not receive it? And she got quiet. She got slammed. So people, I'm not saying don't go to Shakti temples.
Right.
What I'm saying, go where you know.
Do your homework.
It's
Do a
real.
little research.
Go in. If you really want to know, you just give us a call. We will not say a name on air. We will not say the temple. But if you call me direct, I will give you a good idea. Now, there are other gifts. What about gifts of healing with your hands? Well, just the other day, a woman came to me and she says she's been getting the dream of putting her hand in fire. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
And touching people and removing their pain.
You've got that gift.
Correct. Now, that's why I'd laughed with her. And she goes, why are you laughing? I said, because I went through the same thing. I said, you're scared, aren't you?
And she got the dream to come to you?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
No, God will always point you in the direction you need to go. It may not be me. It could have been somebody else.
Okay.
Right? Now, so Lisa, when I first got it, and that was about 30 years ago, I dreamed of putting my hand. And I went to my guru, and I told him, he goes, how many times you dreamed it? I said, the last 6 nights.
Same thing, repeatedly.
Same thing,
Okay.
over and over and over. He laughed. He said, that's going to be one of the gifts you get. And do you know, I didn't get the nerve, because just like this person,
So when
you're
he-
scared,
Yeah.
because that's fire,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you're
You're
wondering.
not putting nothing on your
Yeah.
hand.
And you were never exposed to that sort of
No, I was
growing
raised
up.
as a Christian.
Exactly. This is what I'm thinking in my
Right.
mind. This is probably like, what is this to you? Because
You know.
and based on our conversations, your parents were very grounded in terms of faith and God and going to church. Your
Correct.
father was involved. So this now is quite alien.
Correct.
But
I had a guru. This is what I'm telling everybody here. A guru is a teacher, someone who can help you along the way. So, Zalisa, I dreamed that dream 6 months. And then I got invited to another temple. And when I went, I sat in the back. And there was an old lady sitting up front on her knees crying. She's probably 88, 90 years old. And she was crying, and she was praying to who they call Mother Durga. And she was asking Mother, please pull her pain. She can't take it anymore. And she was saying, I pray to you every day, morning and evening. Well, something told me to walk up to her. So I did. And I just put my hand on her back, and I said, Tanti. That's for an older woman in Trinidad. I said, Tanti.
it means auntie.
Yeah, same thing. Are you okay? Do you know what she said? She turned around, she smiled, and she said, she sent you to me. Pull my pain. So I'm like, okay, I dreamed it. I'm scared.
This was how, no, so for 6 months you dreamt this.
Right.
How long after, was it after the 6 months or was
Yes.
it long? Okay, good. And you already started talking to your guru about this?
Correct.
Good.
My guru said, do not hesitate. Accept what God is giving you. Once you accept and embrace it, you will not get burnt. So here I am. And there was a big brass diya in front of Mother Durga. And so my guru always taught me, if you have to move that, you have to ask permission. So I said, Mom, may I move the diyas closer? I did, and that flame was about that tall. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, here it goes. And I'm kind of quenching, right? And I put my hand in the flame. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it. And my whole hand started getting black, and then I laid it on her back.
Yeah.
And I started to pull energy. And my guru always told me to block off the energy at your wrist. Just pull it so it doesn't enter your body. So he helped me on that part.
See?
Do you know the woman said right there, all her pain was gone? So it works. You got to follow the messages, everybody, that God gives you. It's guidance. That's what it is. Then you have some people, Zalisa, that has the gift of singing. When they sing, there's a difference between a singer and a gifted singer. A gifted singer, as soon as they say those first 4 notes, all your hair on your body raises. That is a gifted person. So their job and their duty is to give that out to the people. Their gift is to give it.
You know, I could understand what you're saying. Some people may be a little confused, the gift of singing. But really, I'll tell you something. If you are having a bad day or a bad moment, or you're in a situation where you feel lost and depressed and less than who you are, and you listen to the right music,
Correct.
it could transform your every thought and put you into a completely different
world.
mood. That's
Different
the
world.
power of good music.
Correct.
Or bad music. You see, it could do the same.
It could
One
be
could
positive
agit-
or negative.
Exactly. So I
And-
understand what you're saying.
And so I found one the other day, I told you.
Yes,
A
we were
young,
talking
young
about this
girl.
young girl that came
And
to you.
I want to get her on the TV. I want to bring her on the show for about 6 minutes.
Should we check this message, Master Eric?
No,
and of
this is another message that's
Oh,
private.
Sure. So, I just want to remind you, you can send your messages to 3544459. Of course, if you would like to connect with Master Eric to talk about, if you feel you've got a gift, some sort of energy that you don't know, or you don't understand, or you can't control, or someone else is seeing that as well within you, then please get help, please get guidance. And of course, you can contact Master Eric 3544459. To send your messages to us today, 3544459, 3847142. Master?
So I'm going to give another scenario. And you know of the people. You know of them. They came and they're Christian, Catholics. And when they came to see me, my first question was to her, how long have you had this? And she said, have what? But she is a praying person. She's a very praying person. And she said, have what? I said, the Shakti. She goes, oh, no way. I'm a Catholic. That's all I do. I said, she's all over you. She's in your blood. And she goes, what do you mean? I said, just hold out your hand. Just hold out your hand. And the husband was sitting there. And I just placed my hand on hers. Boom! She came right up. And you know she came so strong, she's talking. And it was a Hindu goddess. The husband sitting there confused. But when the energy left, the lady said, Zelisa, the love she felt, and the love she felt that came from me to the goddess, and from the goddess to me. And then I said, are you willing to learn? Are you willing to use the gift that God gave you for good? And both of them said yes. So right there, religion went out the window. Because you know why? The holy energy is not religion based. It is spiritual.
Master, let me ask, in that particular situation, you met with the couple, this happened in front of you, and they would have had that experience. And said then, yes, I want to accept and I want to do good and I want to help. If that's your gift, the gift of healing or helping or
Correct.
whatever. And then nothing happens or you don't pursue or the person decides, well, I'm not sure if this is for me. What happens then?
Well, the first thing is, if you're in denial, the question is, why did you accept? Some people have told me, I want to, but not right now in my life. So you're not refusing.
But if
But
God
some
chose,
people-
if God chose
God gives you a free will of choice too.
Understood.
I
And
want you to understand.
Yeah, but you know what I'm thinking in my mind? Billions of people around the world, and God decides, you the one I'm choose to give a gift to heal, to help.
But
do
what-
you question that from God?
No, you don't question it. The idea is, are you ready for it?
Okay, understood.
Mentally, spiritually, and if you don't have any knowledge, Zelisa,
It's frightening.
it's the unknown.
Yeah, it's frightening. Yeah.
So a lot of people, now another thing that people are afraid of, does their life does it have to totally change? Do they have to become like a nun?
Perhaps,
or a priest?
yes. Or I can't have my little wine, or I can't have my little chicken,
Or
I can't,
I can't have relations
with
no
my
more?
husband. Okay.
See,
So they question
all of
certain
this
things.
comes into mind.
It's confusing. Yeah, I
But
can
this
understand.
is where knowledge comes
a
in.
guru.
Correct.
Great.
And you'll see that you don't have to fully change your life, right? So there are so much more I need to go over, but we don't have enough time. But the bottom line is, people, well, a lot of people that come to me, Zelisa, they don't know they have a gift. They come in thinking they may have to admit themselves at St. Anne's, the mental institution, because they're experiencing things that is not normal. So they come in and they'll say, I had one, and now he's working with me. But he come in and he said, Master, I really need you to check me out. Am I going insane?
Oh.
Because his body twitches. At nighttime, he would see his tongue start to come out while he's sleeping. And he's talking another language, but it wakes him up.
And it's scary.
And all this going on. Or he said, am I possessed? And I just smiled at him. And I said, you're gifted.
I'm also thinking that I'm sure there are lots of parents out there with children, especially teenagers, who may have a gift we don't know. And you're thinking something is wrong with your child when all you need to do is explore and find out what's happening, so that you could get help either way. And that's important as well, because then, or even that person confused or thinking in their own mind, something is not right with me, something is wrong, and
But if you have questions after you viewed this, even if you missed it live and you viewed this,
Yeah.
still send your questions in. And we'll be glad to answer them. If you want to make an appointment to come in, remember, I'm dividing myself between locations. So some days I'll be north, some days I'll be south. They'll know how to schedule you. to where we can meet for a full hour. And we'll go over what is going on with you. And I will be glad. I love to assist people that has gifts if God gave you one.
So let me remind you of that number. Please write it down. 354-4459. That's 354-4459.
And again, Zalisa, it's been a pleasure being with you.
As always.
And Anais, thank you for being here,
Yes,
for support.
part of the team.
And everybody, again, if you know a topic that you always wanted to talk about or learn, WhatsApp it. Send it to us. And we'll research it, make sure we have a proper program, and we will let it air. And there is some very good programs coming up. And there's one, Zalisa, that I did not let you know. So I'm going to let the viewers on YouTube and Facebook know now what's going to be on your program next week in the morning. What are the qualities of a good spiritual leader versus what we're seeing done today?
You're going to ruffle a lot of feathers.
It's the truth.
Looking
Okay.
forward to that already. Conversations with Zalisa on Synergy TV on Friday, this coming Friday, next Friday rather, at 10 o'clock. So this is where we say our goodbyes. Gentle reminder, please remember 354-4459. That's 354-4459. Your questions, your concerns, reach out to Master Eric if you need help, if you need guidance, all right? Make the difference by making the choice to help yourself. Keep
And
smiling.
everyone, you have a great night.